Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Vertical Take with Jennifer and Taha. This is episode 40, and why not celebrate episode number 40 with an intimacy coordinator, Ariel Leigh Cohen?
Hi, everyone. It's great
Thank
to be
you for
here.
coming. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a lot of the vertical girlies love the spicy scenes, and if it's not for
That's
intimacy coordinators like you, they probably would not get the best of what the spiciness is meant to be there in terms of the vertical dramas. So we're
Probably not.
right. And we're gonna dive deep into it. And I'm just gonna start off with the first question.
Okay.
So, Ariel, what first drew you into theater and film?
It's a great question. I have been in theater pretty much my whole life. Originally, I started off wanting to be an actor. I was in regional theater as like a 6-year-old. I kind of went that route. I went to college for musical theater acting. I moved to New York, tried to act for a little while. And I started just putting on my own plays and directing, and it's a whole story. I started directing and putting on my own shows, and because they were so low budget, I started getting noticed for props. And then I started working props on Broadway and off Broadway. And then I realized I missed acting, and I missed being sort of more part of the environment, the creative environment. So I moved out to LA in 2019, and I had nothing better to do. And I went to a random free workshop called Intimacy Coordination, which I had never heard of because it barely existed. It only existed for about 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
And I fell head over heels in love with it. It was like this light clicked on. I finally found this space where it's about, the meeting of safe spaces and spicy scenes, which I always loved growing up and always loved being a part of as an actor, and directing. I loved doing that. I loved the choreography elements of it. I just loved every element. It felt like everything I was good at and interested in was put into one beautiful little package, and I have been doing it ever since.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So how did your time in New York compare with Los Angeles in shaping your career? Because they're two completely different areas.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that my experiences in New York, having been an actor and having been a director in various capacities, I did costumes, I did lighting, I did stage management. I was kind of all over the place. Gave me a really well-rounded view of many aspects of making either a film or a theatrical project. And with that well-rounded view, I think that I learned where the holes were, where things were being missed, whether it was when I was acting and I felt like I had no sense of agency or couldn't advocate for myself in any capacity, or if I felt like the director was actively wrong in a choice, but felt that I was not able to say no because it's that thinking pattern of, well, they're going to hire somebody else and fire me if I can't, if I say no to this. So I think coming from that New York lifestyle where it's just hustle, go, no matter who gets hurt, no matter who's run down, and then moving to LA, it's like living on vacation out here.
Really?
Me. I think so. I mean, there's a much stronger focus on health and wellness, mindfulness, taking the time you need to do what you need to do out here versus New York, which is very much like a bustle attitude of how miserable are you? Who's the most miserable? That's the highest, caliber you can have. In LA, it's like who's taking the time to really know what they want and focus on that journey, which I appreciate. I mean, it's still, don't get me wrong, very intense in the film industry out here and in the TV industry. It is a little cutthroat still, but it just feels nicer.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I've never been to LA, but
Neither have I.
but
But I
just,
am from New York, so
So you get
I get the New
it.
York side. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Where in
Yes.
New York were you?
I'm still in New York. I'm in
Oh,
Queens.
where? Oh, you're in Queens. I lived in Queens. Oh my
What
God.
part?
I
Valley
was
Stream.
in. I know Valley Stream. Oh, I have some friends from there.
Ooh.
I was in Sunnyside and Astoria. So like
Ah, okay. So
much
you were
north.
near Ditmars and okay.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were in the posh side with the
Listen,
condos.
I am what I am.
I'm a house boy. I've always grown up in houses, so we're not really because New York is known for its apartments, but it's just not for me. But
I hear you. If I could have a house, I'd have a house. I don't have a house in LA, and that's like a house place. So,
right. No,
Mhm.
I get it. Anyways, so Ariel, what led you to become an intimacy coordinator?
I think that it's a collection of experiences that I had, a collection of experiences that others had who told me, about issues they had on stage, on set, how they were taken advantage of,
Yeah.
how I would look at certain simulated sex scenes on TV and movies and be like, wow, they just have no chemistry. Why does this look so rough? Like, I just felt like there were so many ways to improve, and I never really could think of a way to make that a possible career path for myself.
Yeah.
I remember in like 2010, I had lunch with a friend of mine who is now a very strong advocate for domestic violence survivors. And
Okay.
she had stated that she kind of wanted to create a job that was almost like a sensitivity reader for filmmaking, whether it be about domestic violence or simulated sexual assault scenes, or even just any kind of simulated sex scene on TV or film, just being someone who could be there to kind of handle all of the intricacies of that and handle how delicate it can be. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow, that's the best idea I've ever heard, and then completely forgot about it. And she followed a very different path. But then when I heard of
Oh,
this career, I was like, it
that's it.
happened.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Well, and it's kind of interesting because we spoke to someone who mentioned that they would love to have, even if there wasn't any sexual scenes on a project, they would like to have an intimacy coordinator because it's not necessarily about intimacy, that it's also mental health part of it, and that sort of thing. And a lot of these, so can you speak on that? I mean, is that accurate? Like,
So, couple of different things here. Number one,
okay,
yes. In order to be, I am a certified intimacy coordinator. That's a whole other
okay,
conversation about what certification means and kind of how that fits
yeah,
in. Get to that later. But in the meantime, I am a certified intimacy coordinator through IDC. In order to be a certified intimacy coordinator or be on what's now the pre-registry for SAG-AFTRA, you have to go through psychological first aid training, bystander intervention training. You have to
oh,
learn race relations, trans and cis bodies, effective communication. In certain ways, you have to learn anatomy. It's a huge umbrella of topics that you
yeah,
need to learn in order to effectively communicate and advocate for and know when to step back and know when to step forward and know who to speak to and how to speak to them and de-escalate situations. So I definitely think there's a lot of mental health elements to it. Sometimes my job just feels like being an emotional firefighter. I'm just like putting out fires everywhere. And also maintaining mentally safe spaces for actors, for cast and crew alike. Whereas stunt coordinators handle physical safety, we handle emotional safety and mental safety. So that's definitely part of it. There is also a new blossoming sub-career called mental health coordination, and they kind of handle more scenes that maybe have heavy domestic violence in it, but maybe no sexual moments or no intimacy moments, or they would handle like a very intensive, racial scene where there's perhaps like racism or something along those lines of some kind of derogatory comments.
Yeah.
And I have some training in that. There are some folks who exclusively do that, but it's quite a small field. But that being said, I have been brought on for an intense look across a room because they wanted it very stylized and they wanted a very intensive sexual feeling being tethered between the two characters that it was palpable, you could pour it over pancakes kind of vibes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You never know. We could be brought on for childbirth, simulated sex, nudity, bathing of the elderly, like little kids just swimming in a pool and being in a bikini or having their first kiss or something. We're brought on for a lot of reasons.
Okay. So intimacy coordinator is interesting. How do you explain your job to someone who is unfamiliar with it?
Yes. I would say that it's sort of a psychological stunt coordinator.
Okay.
That's sort of how I describe it. I think it comes in a couple of parts. One is advocating for actors, cast, and crew, making sure that they have the ability to say no, because if the no doesn't exist, then the yes is useless. I'm sort of misquoting something there, but essentially that's the case.
Yeah.
And making sure just everyone's heard and boundaries are maintained and adhered to. I also handle choreography to make sure that the physical storytelling works, that it's telling the narrative that the director and production team want to tell while staying within those boundaries, as well as the coordination aspect, which is talking between every department. So props, we have a sheet situation. There's a sex toy situation. We have to handle that. There are handcuffs, whatever. I need to talk to wardrobe. What are they wearing on the bottom? Are you bringing it or am I bringing it? Is there going to be a barrier, modesty garment, what have you? So it's a couple of different things handled at the same time.
Wow. I feel like you need to have like a checklist. Like, okay, check. I mean, because like you're in like the vertical world now. Like that's what you're dealing with. And some of the things that they want to put, especially with real short, you don't have to say anything, but real short kind of like likes to go and test the boundaries. So I can imagine that you're on there a lot.
I know nothing of what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't have to say anything.
No, of course. We don't want to jeopardize you in any way.
Without jeopardizing anything, what I can say is this. When they are trying to push the envelope, whether it's Real Short or any other vertical company, it is difficult for everyone. It is difficult for the director, for the actors involved, for the crew who's having to watch it over and over again, for the intimacy coordinator who knows for a fact that at the pace that vertical shoots go, which is quite urgent and quick, there's not going to be a lot of time for the actors to really decompress, to take that time to talk to their co-worker, to their co-star in the moment, who perhaps was handling some kind of simulated sexual assault or handling some kind of, if not that, something along those lines, or maybe just egregious verbiage towards one another. It's very difficult for everyone involved. I also sometimes wonder for myself if it is something we should be promoting and supporting and putting up on the vertical websites to begin with, because I personally don't always know who it's for. I'm not sure who the fan base is supposed to be for some of these very intensive humiliation scenes.
Yeah.
So when I get one of those scenes, my protocol is I will speak to the director. I will see in what ways we can curb it, minimize it, make it a little less intensive, because I know that we're not going to have the time it takes to actually keep everybody safe. And then from there, I will go over every single moment of every scene as it's currently planned and make just one-on-one and just make sure they understand all the parameters so they have the ability to say, I'm not doing that with me. And then I go to production and I say, so they're not doing that. What can we do instead? And then we come up with solutions.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So, Ariel, what's your approach when working on intimacy in a script?
Great question. So my workflow looks a little like this. I get the script, I flag all the intimate scenes. I then go to production and the director specifically, and I say, what is your vision for these scenes? How can I support that vision? They say, I am thinking about these shots. I want the mood to be this. I want her to be topless. I want this. And I say, great, wonderful requests. Thank you. Then I have my one-on-one calls with the actors, whether Zoom or phone, and I say, these are those requests. How does that feel for you? What are your boundaries that haven't necessarily been requested? Just so I know if someone has a fun idea on set, I can say immediately, that's going to work. That's not available for us. And then maybe we can do this instead. And then once we come to a conclusion, everything that needs to be adjusted is adjusted ahead of time. Then we get to set and I have a two-on-one with the actors or more, if there are more actors involved, basically going over those boundaries again, seeing if there's anything new. Are there new injuries? Did they sleep weird? Is the neck turning to the right now odd? And now they can't kiss that way. All that information is really helpful. Then when we move into the scene, I help choreograph all of the movements because my specialty tends to be choreography. Some intimacy coordinators don't do as much choreography. They kind of step back. I love the choreography and I'm very about it. I love it to be real spicy, real good, real flowy. And then I just check in with the actors periodically. And then when we finish the shoot, I just kind of say, all right, thank your co-star, thank your coworker,
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, because I've heard that, they're very detailed where it's like to the second. Like you will kiss for 18 seconds. You will thrust for 5 seconds. You will wiggle your toes for 3 seconds. Like,
oh, the toe wiggling. Yes. So real. But I mean, to a degree, yes. Usually it's more of a range, like a 4 to 7 second kiss where you'll say, okay, this is going to be a 4 to 7 second kiss that's stationary. Then there's a break, there are lines, and then you come back in for maybe a 10 to 15 second kiss that has motion to it. There's more passion, more breath. The eye contact is eye contacting, the bodies are bodying, Some actors really love a beat by beat, and then you hold here and you grip for 2 seconds, and then you move down, and then the line. Some actors just want a general beat by beat. You're going to touch her arm. You're going to touch her side. She's going to touch your face. And that's all they get. But the vertical scripts, I will say, producers and clients have a very specific vision for what they would like, for what the algorithm likes, what the fans like.
Yeah.
And they will make sure to a degree that that is what happens ultimately, as long as it's within the boundaries of the actors. I do find that they are very understanding, and intimacy coordination is pretty normalized in the vertical space.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So one question that I did want to ask before I forget, I know you had mentioned this. What is the protocol? How is the protocol different with a vertical versus a traditional or a
Horizontal.
Yeah, there you go. Horizontal. Yeah, vertical versus horizontal. There you go.
That phrasing always makes me laugh. I don't know why. So verticals are their own beasts. I will say that. When you are doing choreography for a vertical, I know the look they're going for without a doubt. I know that they want the sheet getting crumpled in the hand while a simulated sex scene is occurring. They want kissing down the neck and sort of an arched back. And the vision is very clear and specific kind of across the board, no matter what you're working on.
Yes.
I will also say, like I had said previously, the sense of urgency is very intensive and consistent. Sometimes you're working on 12 pages, 16 pages a day. which in the horizontal world is very extreme, where you're doing maybe 4 to 7 on average, maybe 10 if you're really going for it or the scenes are pretty quick.
Yeah.
So with that speed, you need to maintain a sense of authenticity, but also making sure that the actors are all right enough to move forward with what the action is. Sometimes I'm given 10 minutes to choreograph a full simulated sex scene beginning to end. And I say, I would love more time if I could have it. And they say, we have no more time left. And I say, great, we're gonna do what we can do here. And then we do the best that we can do. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's rough. I would also say in the vertical space, because it is a non-union situation, safety protocols are Wild West like. It depends on the shoot you're on. Sometimes they really care and it really matters to them that we're safe and that we're having a good time and that everyone knows what they're doing. Sometimes actors get hypothermia, and because water isn't heated when they're in the jets of the hot tub, or they're in the rain scene, that water's not heated and it's nighttime and they're freezing. Horizontals, even non-union, try to hold on to, for the most part, SAG protocols, which is the union. But if you are SAG, you would definitely be hanging on to those protocols. But verticals do their best with the time and budget that they have.
Yeah.
That's true. Definitely, to put it in a nutshell.
So, sorry, Taha, I had to put that in there before I forgot.
Good.
Because I remembered that question. So how do you balance safety with authentic storytelling?
It's a balance.
It's a balance, all right.
Right.
I would say safety first.
Yes.
Safety above all authentic storytelling. First and foremost.
Agreed.
If it's not a safe environment, the authentic storytelling isn't going to matter because people aren't feeling like they can do this in a way that is sustainable, and could be actively harming folks. So we're going to focus on safety first. Once safety protocols have been performed, if I am watching, and I am watching everyone's body language in the entire room, and everyone looks like we're moving on and we're good to go, great. Then we can move on to the choreography, in which I know what the boundaries are. And I feel that when actors know the boundaries, it actually allows them to inhabit the space of their character much better, much easier. Some of the folks who have not worked with intimacy coordinators are worried that we would kind of create a situation where there's no authenticity and there's no spontaneity. And I don't know that we need spontaneity, but that's fine. But I feel that what we do in choreography is we create a container where you say, this is what I can and cannot do. So then as the actor, you can say, all right, great. Now I don't need to think about that. I don't need to worry if I'm harming them. I don't need to worry if I'm touching the wrong place or doing the wrong thing or upsetting them. Now I can just be my character with these parameters in place. It's like being in a swimming pool where you know where the walls are versus being thrown in the ocean and drowning. You know, where you're just like, I have no idea how this other actor is going to react to anything that I do. So once I know the boundaries, everyone's safe, then we can move into what looks authentic on camera. And a lot of that is about knowing where the body parts are and then pretending that they're somewhere else. Based on where camera is. Because if someone is, I mean, this is an audio podcast, but if you are watching this visually, if someone is here, you don't know that we're not kissing, but this is the amount of space that there is. That's what a lot of simulated sex looks like. You are 5 inches off the mark. You are moving your body against nothing or a pillow, or maybe you're even next to them under the sheet, but from the side, it looks like you're on top of them. It's just a lot about knowing what's going to read on camera, a lot of it is, can you put a little more grip in the fingertips? Because if the hand is here, I don't believe that you're lusting after your scene partner. If you're here, I believe it wholeheartedly. Could be relaxing of the jaw, anything along those lines.
See, this is so well. First off, this is visual. This is going to be a visual interview. Okay, so, but also this is like so interesting because like I'm a spicy girl. I do like my spicy scenes. So like just hearing like how this goes about, this is great. Go ahead, Taha.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
So how do you build that trust so quickly with actors and directors?
Okay, this is a good question. Quickly is an interesting word. I'm going to say you can move at the pace of trust. You can't speed it up. You can't make something happen. You can't make someone trust you. What you can do is you can be reliably there. You can give all of the information that you are able to give, all the information you have the knowledge of as far as those requests from the director, what the production wants to do, answer any questions, and just be very real that you can stand up for any decision that they want to make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that creating that trust really happens in that pre-production work where I listen to the director. I really try to absorb as much as I can about what they really want. So when we get to set, the actors are not surprised because I gave the absolute wrong information because the director actually wanted X instead of Y. Then when I'm having those one-on-one meetings with the actors, it's really giving them an opportunity to just tell me their actual boundaries, which they may not be comfortable telling to any other member of the crew because they have an ulterior motive. They want the scene to be done. They want it, they want it to go quickly. They want to save money. They want to save time. They may hire them in a future capacity. This is something that an intimacy coordinator isn't going to do. So there are no stakes to saying no to me. And I think that is a really safe baseline to be on with any person. Just knowing that you have someone on your side. They may not trust me 100% the first time we meet. I think that would be a lot to ask of someone, but they can depend on me that I'm going to do everything in my power to support them.
Right.
Okay. How do you adapt to different comfort levels on set?
Adaptivity is like the most important thing is being an intimacy coordinator. You have to adapt. It's constantly shifting, changing. Like I said previously, if I have those boundary meetings with both actors and one of them said, I hurt my back yesterday and now I can't twist, I can't do a push-up, none of that. I say, great, we have a simulated sex scene where you're on top. A lot of the times it's push-ups or something along those lines. So now I have to go to director and I say, hey, director, that idea that we had has to change now. It's no longer available physically speaking. How can we adjust that? Here are some ideas I have. What are your ideas? They have ideas. We chat it out. We talk to production. They agree. I come back to actors. I say, hey, actors, this is the new idea. Do you think this could work within our limitations today? They say, yes. Okay, great. Then we get to scene and then I have to really fast figure out how to make that happen now that we've decided what's going to happen.
Yes.
Now, there are situations where actors change their minds about what they've said yes to. And a lot of people feel that, when you have a simulated sex scene or nudity, you will complete what's called a simulated sex or nudity rider to your contract, which just states, player will simulate receiving oral sex from another player, something along those lines.
Okay.
Or will show, side breast.
Yeah.
Verticals don't have any nudity as of right now, but implied, yes. Unless there's something I don't know yet, which.
Well, I have seen, I don't know if you've seen Daddy December. It does have the male butt. And there is a vertical on my drama that had male nudity.
Interesting. That's
I've seen nipples.
But
You've
but
seen
anyway.
female nipples?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But
This is
but that was yeah.
wow. Okay.
I
All
was like
right.
see through, and I
It's
was like, oh my
just
god.
I didn't know about that. That surprises me, but also I know that they're getting racier and more intentional about the spice every single month. It gets a little more intensive, as I'm sure you all know. So
Yes.
Of course.
I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Okay, so none of the 30 plus none of the 30 plus verticals I've worked on have had any nudity, but a lot of them have had simulated sex. I would say most.
The different comfort
comfort.
levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this I think is sort of important. I think so. Actors, consent is reversible, and sometimes actors sign and say, "I am willing to do a full simulated sex scene from beginning to end," and then they get to set. And even though I've had a conversation with them, they've read the script, they've talked to production, they've done the read through. I've answered any questions. Again, we get to the set. Suddenly, they change their minds. It can happen. It does.
Yeah.
Writers are more for productions than for actors. It's not saying, the actor is agreeing to do this no matter what. It's saying that the production can only ask the actors to do what's listed there.
Okay.
So what happens in those situations if an actor changes their mind is I then go to production and I say, this is no longer available. What do you want to do? We can do this instead. Let's say the situation is it's a topless scene. We can show maybe clavicle up. Does that work? We can show side breast. Actor says that's fine. We can show back nudity. That's fine. But no longer showing of the breasts, areolas, nipples. It's no longer available to us. Do you want to spend the money and the time to either A, recast, or B, send all of these folks home with a full day rate for having done nothing? Or is maybe here up okay to tell the story that you want to tell? Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes it's not. And sometimes director is like, this is so important to the narrative that they will shift it. And to that I say, I will back up the actor as much as I can, but I will also say that your boundaries are your boundaries. They're perfect the way they are. It doesn't mean that it's right for this project.
Agreed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It comes down to one's boundaries and one's individuality. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you're a person first and an actor second.
Yes, agreed. So I wanted to ask Ariel, what's the most challenging intimacy scene you've coordinated?
Yes. So I always get this question, and I had asked earlier, as far as if this is the most difficult time I've had coordinating a scene, or the most difficult a situation has been in the creation and coordination of the scene. Like, craziest action, I would say, was how dark do we want to get?
The craziest.
Yeah.
Okay.
The worst.
So my first answer is not the worst, just the craziest experience I've had. Then we'll go to worst.
Okay.
Craziest experience I've had was I was on set, and there were 10 actors in pairs of 2 who were all simulating a seduction scene at the same time for a full hour with 8 cameras.
Wow. Okay.
So I had to remember 10 different people's boundaries, and they took a full hour take without cutting. So I was staring at 8 monitors. I don't think I blinked the full hour. I just was like darting around, like trying to make sure and remember and see what was going on. And it ended up all being fine by a miracle.
Yeah.
It was, I think, the most stressed out I've ever been in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a wild one.
God.
Yeah, I mean, but craziest, if you want to go the other direction of crazy, one of the first projects I had, I want to say was like third, fourth, fifth project I ever had as an intimacy coordinator. I was working on this short film that was about a director who is seduced by the lead actor in their film. And then they start making demands about the project. And then the director has an amazing speech about community and filmmaking. And then actress changes her mind. And it was two females as the leads of this production. This is not a vertical, by the way. Honestly. I found out when I got to set that it was the director had told the actresses that this was a true story based on him and a 15-year-old actress who had seduced him.
Oh my God.
Had seduced him, obviously. Ugh, disgusting. He was asking the actors to sit on his lap. He was resetting props, I say in quotes, while he would sort of touch them while in the bed before it would sort of lead into a simulated sex scene, but I don't actually think, if I remember correctly, that it actually would get there. He would let takes go on way too long because he's just sitting and watching them kiss for a long time and clothes are coming off and I'm just staring. I can't call cut, so I can just stare at the director and get closer and closer and closer and hope that they'll call cut at any point. And when they're done, I'm like, so is that how long the actor should expect to go on before you call cut? Because if that's the case, I'll go let them know. That was the worst day. But I actually, weirdly enough, I ended up working with one of the actresses in that production later. I never found out what happened to the film. I ended up accidentally running into her on a shoot and I was like, oh my God, hello. She's like, that shoot made me realize I had so much more ability to stand up for myself than I thought I did. It really changed my opinions about just going with the flow on set. I was like, oh, that's so nice. I love that for you. That's so great. And I'm like, what happened to the film? She's like, oh yeah, no, we all left set the next day after you were there. So it never came out. It never got finished.
Wow.
He got shelved.
Well, now you said you can't yell cut. What happens if they're recording something and you see something happens, like somebody touching somebody inappropriately, something's touching that shouldn't be?
So it's a great question. So we can't call cut, but first AD, who's the assistant director, can call cut. And if I see something crazy, then I'll usually try to flag at the AD. If I'm seeing hesitation in the body language, if the actress is looking at me instead of where she's supposed to, or whoever's having the issue, I will flag down AD and I'm like, I'm waving at him cut and or her. And usually they'll cut from there if they're paying attention to me. I also, in my meetings with the actors day of, always say, please feel free to call hold if anything is ever not feeling right. Sometimes first AD doesn't see me. Sometimes things go on and crazy stuff goes and happens and I have to wait till cut, or I'll stare at the director the way that I was stating. And I then go to the actors and I'll say, hey, I just noticed a little bit of hesitation in that movement there. Should we go over the choreography? Or, hey, I noticed that movement wasn't something in our original choreography. Is that something we want to add in? Or is that something maybe we want to stay away from? Right. And it just opens up the world for the actors to have verbalized thoughts.
So, Ariel, have you ever had to stop filming for safety reasons?
Yes. I've had some actors who I do everything in my power, but I've had some actors who are about to have a panic attack and they're not saying anything and I can see their hands clenching. I can see their eyes shifting or starting to get glassy when they're walking around. I think it more often than not happens with domestic violence scenes or any kind of violent sexual connotations. But yeah, actors can have panic attacks. And this is not just female actors, or it's not just victims or survivors of these situations. A lot of the times it's aggressors in the situation. I find that predominantly in these sort of high vulnerability situations, a lot of when they typically make males the aggressors in, let's say, a simulated sexual assault scene, it's very uncomfortable for them. They don't want to be in that space mentally.
Right.
There's nothing enjoyable about that. And especially when a lot of the vertical scripts have actresses crying and or they're bleeding, being thrown against a wall or something like this. Yeah. It can be really graphic and intense, and sometimes the male actors need a minute and they need time to make sure that the actress is okay. And sometimes the actresses are about to have trouble. I once had an actress who was lying on her back and the male actor was just on top of her and they were kissing. And I think they were holding it slightly too long and she started to show signs that she was about to get triggered or activated physically. And that's when you go to the first AD and you stare at them or you go cut or whatever. And then you take the actor aside and you take them into another room if there is one, or you take them into a corner and you're like, hey, let's chat. Do you need a minute in the bathroom? Do you want me to make an excuse for you? Or do you want to just actively take a break and have everybody take a break? Sometimes when actors are in it though, and you can't even ask them, do you want a break? Because they're not mentally in a space to say yes or no. So sometimes I'll even implement like thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. And if they're medium, maybe let's take a break. If they're down, we're definitely taking a break.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So how do you navigate time or budget pressures while protecting boundaries?
The reality is that the budget isn't really my problem.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I have it in mind, of course, and time pressures are real. But one of the elements of being an intimacy coordinator is to calm down that sense of urgency, because that's when mistakes happen and that's when people get harmed. Mm-hmm. That's where there are risks. So if there's anything I can do to slow it down, and this is not to say that we slow down the film process. We do not. We actually save it a lot of time in that we take care of a lot of these issues ahead of time. So once we're on set, actors know what's going on. We know what's going on. They can just get down to business and do what they need to do and get out of it quickly. If an actor says, I need a minute of silence to ground, let's do that, because it's better than them locking themselves in their trailer for an hour if they don't have that time. It's 1 minute versus a long time. So we actually save productions a lot of time and energy just by being there and allowing space for these things. Film sets are really dangerous spaces.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. So, Ariel, how has intimacy coordination evolved since you have started?
Oh, it's so different now. When I started 2 years into it. Like, it became a position in 2017. It's very new.
Oh, okay.
And
Very
I started in I started even training in 2019. So the process of how to do the work on set has changed quite a bit. It's become more formalized and it's become more like a step-by-step process. I think there were also things when I started, I didn't initially know everything. I didn't really know how to hold a safety meeting. Excuse me. Oh my God. I didn't know how to hold a safety meeting. I didn't know how to handle those one-on-one conversations ahead of time in the prep. I didn't know how to make a breakdown. Most people didn't. We all collectively have kind of created these protocols of how to do the work and how it gets done most effectively. But a lot of that is just trial and error. And even then, all intimacy coordinators have a slightly different vibe, slightly different style. We all kind of come in like Miss Frizzle, like from Magic School Bus, but generally speaking, we all have like a slightly different energy on set. Yeah. And I think the biggest difference beyond that is that I used to know most of the intimacy coordinators and now I don't know most of them. Folks are like, oh, do you know my friend? She's an intimacy coordinator. I'm like, I probably don't anymore. Not unless they've been doing it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now before I get into the next question, something that just came to me. Do you all do like routine workshops, like where if something like new is like a trend or like a new just something that new that has come out into filming that you guys attend just to kind of keep you refreshed or yeah.
Long story short, yes.
Okay.
All the training that we get, and it's in all these different topics, there isn't one organization that showcases all of these topics. You kind of have to go around, you have to listen to podcasts, you have to read books, you have to watch movies, you have to take classes from different programs. Johns Hopkins has a psychological first aid class that a lot of us take. You're kind of all over the place, and you need to take all these courses within 3 years in order to be on the SAG pre-registry or registry or to be certified. Some folks don't get certified, but they still have all of the prerequisites for SAG, AFTRA registration, which is still sort of in the works because we're still talking to SAG. But this year, we just had the first intimacy symposium, followed by a summit in Chicago from 2 different organizations. They were the first ones in the US ever. They had several thousand attendees. It was pretty exciting.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So how did the Me Too movement impact your field?
The Me Too movement started my field. It came out of that field, actually. It didn't really exist. Intimacy coordination has kind of mildly existed in Canada for like 25 years. But in the US, as a result of the Me Too movement, particularly for the TV show The Deuce on HBO, they were like, we need somebody to handle these simulated sex scenes and nudity scenes who can advocate for the actors, pay attention to what's going on, perhaps choreograph them. It kind of came from someone who had some fight coordinator and stunt experience. Her name's Alicia Rodas. We love Alicia. She's now the head of AT&T at HBO. Yeah, I mean, Me Too was the reason why they felt the need to create the position in the first place.
Got it. Interesting. So, do you think intimacy coordinators will become a standard in all productions?
I really hope so. I think it's so helpful. Every production I've been on, I think, except for one, has said, whether they've worked with us or not before, has basically been like, we couldn't have done this scene without you. I don't know how anybody does these scenes without an intimacy coordinator at this point. It's like a director just trying to handle a stunt scene on their own. They can try. It's really dangerous. You can see how it goes. Right now, intimacy coordinators are not standardized in any way, except in verticals, which is nice. We are not required by SAG or in any capacity. All that there is currently is that from the strikes, there was an agreement that if an actor requests an intimacy coordinator, the production would have to use, what's the verbiage? It was like they have to try, like, give a reasonable effort to find one, something along those lines.
Okay, that's awesome.
But a lot of productions say, can anybody be in it? No? Okay, never mind. And then they'll just move on there. It's pretty annoying.
Wow.
Yeah.
A legal definition for what reasonable means in that capacity. But this is my full-time job. This is my only job. This is all that I do. So I'm able to support myself doing the work, and I just hope it keeps coming along.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So how do you define a truly safe set?
One with an intimacy coordinator who's capable.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the safest possible set, quickly, is a production where personal needs are the most important, where people are taken care of, that people care about the efficacy and the safety protocols put in place, that people are listening to one another, and that people understand that it's a film. And don't get me wrong, I love film. It's my entire career. It's my favorite thing. I love films. But also, it is just a movie. And it's not worth harm. So I think if we all understand that we're all in a creative endeavor and we're all going to do our best and we have faith in everyone that they're going to do their best work, I think that is a safe set.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, what advice do you give to actors and directors working with intimacy for the first time?
Usually I go through my whole workflow just so they understand how I fit into everything.
Right.
Advice, I don't really give advice. I mean, unless it's specifically requested. Some directors, one thing I'll go over with directors is how do you want the workflow to go on set? Do you want to be the only voice in the room? So any tweaks or ideas I have, I go to you and you tell the actors.
Right.
Do you want me to be the only voice in the room? Some directors are very uncomfortable with intimacy and just want us to deal with it and they walk away. That's fine too. Do you want a collaborative approach where we both bring ideas and thoughts to the table? That's usually the most common, I would say. So I think it's less advice as much as an understanding that I'm not here to take your project and make it my own. I'm not here to cut all the intimacy out because that would make it so I don't have a job anymore. I'm here to support director, support producers, and just make sure that whatever I'm supporting them in fits within the actresses and actors that they've hired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last question, what legacy do you hope to leave in this field?
This is such a hard question to answer. I mean, personally, I would love to be like a household go-to name for intimacy coordination. I think that would be great. Legacy-wise, though, I would just hope that I create an environment where actors feel safe with me, safe to speak their truth, and also that I make kick-ass sexy scenes that everyone's like, that is my favorite scene. That makes my stomach do all of the somersaults. Like that would be awesome. I love that. And listen, some of the verticals I've worked on, I feel we've reached that. I feel like we've gotten there.
Okay. Well, I will say that when I looked at I looked at your IMDb, like you've done some pretty, like Taha, I don't know if you know this, but she did the one with Jesse Morales and
Silver Fox.
Oh my God, what?
Tess.
Yeah,
I worked with Tess and Jesse. I was on that shoot for 9 out of 10 days.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, because it was pretty. Yeah, you would have to be because that was like a pretty steamy vertical. But yeah. But yeah, but like
about that rain scene. Anyway.
but like I said, it was just like, yeah. So when you said that you hope to be a household name, like, I mean, you're getting there because there was a lot of lot of good verticals out there. Okay, so the last thing, or not last thing, but the next thing we're going to do is going to be the 2 truths and a lie.
And the score is 11-8.
Which one are you?
18.
18, my bad. I'm 11. She's 18.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I feel nervous now. All right, so I have been to Nepal. I grew up with sled dogs, and I worked at an animatronic dinosaur theme park.
Oh.
Interesting.
My life is weird.
Nepal. Ooh. I haven't been to Nepal, but I've been to neighboring India and Bangladesh, so very interesting. Did you enjoy the momos there?
Wait a minute! Don't answer him. He's trying to go and fool you.
Look at you, Jennifer, trying to.
I know.
Tisk.
No, I was like, no, don't answer him.
That's probably true. You grew up with sled dogs. Interesting.
I'm gonna go with Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's been to Nepal. I'll go with the last one. The job dinosaur? With the animal.
Was it dinosaur? It was something
dinosaur theme park.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not been to Nepal, so I do love Momo though. There's a Nepalese place near me that I love. It's really good.
I mean, you were in New York
Sure.
for a long time. Jackson Heights. There you go. All the
Yep.
Nepali stuff is there.
Mhm.
Okay,
So go ahead and
interesting.
tell us about the other two. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I grew up with Samoyeds, which are sled dogs. I mean, I was on the East Coast, so it made more sense at the time. Now I have a tiny little
Right.
dachshund mix. But
Oh,
they used to, we would ride around in a sled. It was very cute. I had 3 of them throughout my life, and I loved them. They were just little dummies. They're just the dumbest, happiest dogs.
oh,
And the animatronic dinosaur theme park, also very real. I worked at Field Station Dinosaurs, which used to be in Secaucus and now is in somewhere else in New Jersey. It moved. And I was a tour guide there for a summer. And it's one of my favorite facts, although not that much happened while I was there, but I just thought it was like a fun fact for me.
yeah, because
Amazing.
yeah,
Who has done that? Yeah, I know.
exactly.
Right. Well, I kind of knew the dogs was true because of the East Coast thing, but then I was like, maybe she did go to Nepal. But you
Now let
got
me
me
ask
fooled.
you. Sorry, you said you got a Dotson mix. Like, what's it mixed with?
She's like a mutt. She's a chai weenie, like Chihuahua,
Okay.
Dachshund, but then there's like mini pincher and Pomeranian and a bunch of other things in
Well,
there.
the reason I say that is because my parents they have a Dotson mixed with a Jack Russell Terrier. So it is the oddest looking dog. It's not
Oh,
like a Dotson. Yeah.
this is mine. She's just a
Oh,
little
Aw,
sweetie. She's
okay.
sleeping right now, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother her.
that's
But she's
fine. No, 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 no. Let her sleep.
thank you.
Definitely. Well, congratulations to the rest of you who got that correct.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. Now we're on to the rapid fire. So whenever you're ready.
Great. I am.
Okay. Do you like tacos?
Yes.
What's the silliest nickname you've ever had?
Air conditioning.
Do you prefer quiet or busy places?
Quiet.
If you could only eat one meal forever, what would it be?
Ice cream.
Do you like working alone or in groups?
Both.
Okay. Would you rather fly or breathe underwater?
Fly.
Do you like surprises?
Yes.
Do you like ice skating?
Yes, I used to ice skate actually.
Okay.
Now, did you ever ice skate in the Rockefeller Center?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Mm. Do you keep a journal?
Yes.
Would you rather a flirty text or a phone call?
Phone call. I'm a millennial. Leave me alone.
Oh my God. What motivates you?
Flirty text. No. Uh, community.
Yeah. Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Millennial.
I know.
If you had a time machine, where would you go?
Late 1800s, Regency era England.
Love it. Favorite movie villain?
Oh my God, wait. Movie villain. Angelica Houston in Ever After.
Yeah. Do you enjoy playful teasing with friends or a partner?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite childhood game?
I want to say Pokemon Stadium on N64.
That works. Do you like making to-do lists?
I like finishing them.
Do you like gingerbread cookies?
Yes, I also make them all the time.
till it's seasoned. What's the best topping for pizza, in your
Mushrooms.
opinion? Ooh,
Okay.
I do like some mushrooms. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd do?
Real answer or fake answer?
I mean, you just won the Powerball. You got
Great.
billions to
I'm
your
getting a
name.
financial advisor who handles that kind of money. Then I'm going on a trip.
Right. Do you like someone whispering secrets to you?
No.
Would you rather fly or be invisible?
Fly.
Okay. What's the coolest place you've ever visited? And you can't say Nepal.
She never been to Nepal.
I never been.
I know, that's why I said that.
Coolest place, Amsterdam. Very cool.
Ooh, yeah. Big cities or small towns?
Big cities.
You got, yeah. Mhm. Do you enjoy surprises?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do you like visiting aquariums?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're cute.
Books or movies?
Books.
Yes, yes,
I'm
Do
a
you
book
like,
talk lady. I'm here.
yes.
right?
Oh my God, we're gonna have to talk.
Look at my job description. Honestly,
Right?
Spicy.
who likes it more than me? No.
Do you like flirty dares in a game?
How flirty. I'm so old and tired. I'm gonna say no. I don't
That's fine. That is fine. Change the past or see the future?
see the future.
Ooh,
Past
okay.
is great.
Right. And the last question is belonging or urgency?
Belonging.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much for participating in the rapid fire. That was amazing. And I'd like to open the floor for you to ask us any questions if you may have any.
Yes.
You
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
I have some questions. Okay.
Okay, good. I don't want to put you
One.
on the spot.
Okay. No. I have questions. Okay. So you are viewers and enjoyers of verticals. Okay. So what is your favorite trope when you're watching a vertical? When you see it, you're like, yes. Oh, I love when they do this. I love when they do this plot point or when the actors do this one thing. What's your thing?
Oh, I
What
think,
you like the spicy stuff, Jennifer, don't you?
Well, we know we like the spicy, but is there a
yeah,
particular
spicy.
move, a particular, like a friend's
Oh
within
my god.
this? I don't know. What's your vibe?
I think mine is I love enemies to lovers.
Great.
Especially
Yes.
that moment where they're just like going at it, like they're just arguing, they're like really, really just there's tension, you know that it's just building, and all of a sudden they just go at it.
Yeah.
My favorite
'Cause
too. Tension.
yeah,
We love.
yes, the tension is important.
Very important.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say a good storyline.
Mm.
It's yeah, it's got to be a good storyline, and I love plot twists.
Ooh, okay.
Huge plot twist. Yeah, that's for me. Mhm.
Great. Okay. Dare I ask what your favorite vertical is that you've watched recently?
Recently.
Okay, I can give it reason because my favorite vertical of all time is The Secret She Couldn't Escape, and it's on Big Blue. But I'll give for recently Bloody Mary.
Ooh, I don't know that one. Say more.
I was messaging Jennifer, and I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep.
It's not spicy though. Well, there's got a little bit,
I
but it's
don't.
not.
You
It's
see, that's the
mainly
thing with
like a
me. I like to skip the spicy stuff, like the kiss and stuff like that. I keep it in, but like when they're like getting it on, I'm just like, okay, why?
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
like, okay, I
goodness.
don't need to.
Okay.
Or if it's like in the corner and I'm like doing something, I'll just hear some moaning in the back, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's going on. All right, continue doing what I have to do.
Copy that. All right.
I'm trying to think. Um, just like verticals in general, like any verticals that we okay.
Recently watched, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh, Begging for My Return with Jacob Tittle. Jake
I think I
Tittle.
worked with him once.
Yeah, him, and it was good. It was it was on Real Short, and it was one of those verticals where he's got a wife and a child, and they take him for granted, and they just literally mistreat, ignore him. He's doing all these, sacrificing so much for them, and they're just horrible mother and child. But by the end of it, he I think he but well, okay, I won't spoil it, but by the end of it,
don't
they
spoil
do regret it. They do regret it. And it's so sad because the little girl, it's got a little girl, she's probably, I want to say maybe 10, and she's crying because she realizes her dad is gone, and she didn't, because the sad thing is that even the child was being awful to her dad, but by the end of it, she's just like, "Dad, come back, come back," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry." But anyway, but yeah, I think that was probably my favorite here recently.
Yeah, let's not give too much away.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was a lot. See, I ramble. I ramble. See,
I like that. That's good.
And that's why I have to bring everyone on cue. Well, okay. Very interesting. Well, thank you very much, Ariel, for asking us these questions. And I will link all of your socials and everything in the description box below. And to the rest of you, thank you so much for watching this special episode, number 40. And what way to make it special than to have an intimacy coordinator? Awesome. And yeah, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. And until next time, peace.
Thank you